Now, the more observant among you would have noticed, and you can rewind the movie to satisfy yourself that this is the case. Over here is now a tick box where there wasn't one before. Now, this is part of the completion status for the course. It gives you a visual indication of all the resources you've visited, all the activities that you've done. So it's a great way of checking that you've actually done some stuff, and this actually goes forward to the teacher as well, so the teacher can see that you've done these activities. I'm just going to scroll back up to the top for a second, and you can see that column there says your progress. So going back down again, you can see that your progress going through is denoted by a number of ticks. Now, the progress, whether you complete an activity or not, is handled in one of two ways. You can either have it automatically complete when you view it, or when you download something and it will automatically mark you off as complete, and that's these ones here. And the teacher has absolute authority over whether or not the completion is due to you getting a certain pass mark, or whether you just view it or whatever. So that's the automatic completion, and you can see if I hover over it, it says completed. The other way of doing it, and the teacher might allow you to do this, is we have here, if I hover over this one, it says mark as complete. Now, this one here, you have the option as to whether or not to mark it complete. So when I click on this, now it's taking me back up to the top of the screen, so I'm going to scroll back down again. And there you can see now that it says mark as not complete. So we've self-completed this, we've actually done this ourselves. Okay, we'll revisit this when we come to look at activities again, but this one here now, we could click on it again and it would erase that tick. So if we wanted to go back and revisit it and tell the teacher that we're not quite ready yet, we're not quite ready to complete that particular section, we can untick it if we want to. So that's quite a useful little thing, and it also gives the teacher some indication of your completion status. Speaking of completion status, we'll go back up to the top, and one of these sections in your navigation bar is course completion status. So I'm just going to open that up, I'm just going to expand it for a second. And there you can see here that well, the status to start off with says it's pending. That's due to the server, the website, being able to refresh it after a while. So at the moment you haven't completed the course, which is obvious because there's still some activities to be ticked off. The self-completion status, you can't self-complete the course. You can self-complete some activities, but you can't self-complete the course. The teacher can't complete the course for you either at the moment. That option is greyed out at the moment. But the useful thing here, it tells you the number of activities that you've actually completed. So here I've got 3 out of 10. So it gives you a visual interpretation of how many you've got left to do. So that's quite useful. I'm just going to close that back down again. Another thing that you might find useful is in the navigation bar. You have a list of recent activity. So if we click on that and open it up, you can see some things that have been uploaded. So that's quite useful to see whether or not there's some new activities that you can do. So I'm just going to hide that again. And also online users. So if I click on the online users section, what you can see here in the last 15 minutes, the test user, that's me at the moment, has been on the last 15 minutes. So if you are part of a group and you are waiting for someone to come online so you can go onto a forum or a chat or a blog or something like that with them, you can tell here if they're online. And this tells us that in the last 15 minutes, the only person that's been onto the Moodle site is me. Okay. So that's how we navigate around our Moodle site. The next number of movies are going to go into a little bit more detail as to how you complete activities, what sort of activities there are, and eventually looking at assignments and how we look at the grade book.